Okay, in this tutorial I want to show you how you can make some adjustments to your text that Illustrator allows us to do a little bit better than maybe Photoshop does. Basically what I can do is I can take this text, which is text, I can still type in it, and I can convert it into outlines. So let me zoom in here, create outlines. If you right click on your piece of text and go to create outlines, what happens is it turns each of your letters into a shape, which we can then manipulate in a lot of different ways. So it sets it up as a group of characters. So you would need to come up to Object, Ungroup, or you notice there's a shortcut key here, Command-Shift-G. So again, when you create outlines, you are actually making it so you can't, it's no longer type, it's become a shape. So that's important to understand. So when we ungroup, Command-Shift-G, or again, go to Object and then Ungroup, now I can click on each individual letter. The reason why this might be beneficial is because let's say I wanted my R to be a little bit different than it is. Maybe I actually want this little anchor point. I'm going to grab the white arrow tool. I'm going to show you, like, maybe I want this anchor point to come down. I'm trying to make some adjustment to this. Maybe I want the R to actually be something like, I don't know, I can start to manipulate. You can see I can start to manipulate each individual piece. If I want this bar, for example, I can select these pieces. I can click and drag this bar down and make the A. All of a sudden it's still an A, but I've manipulated it in a new way because this is now a shape. That means I can also change each color to be something different, which I could do before, but now it just makes it a little easier. Like, let's say I wanted to combine the N and the O together, and maybe the R and the D together. So notice how, like, it doesn't quite blend in really well right here. It sort of sticks out, so I might use this to try and get exact, but if I can't get exact, then maybe I actually use this to manipulate. Anyways, these are the sorts of things you can do inside of Illustrator using this tool, the Create Outlines. Whoops. So I can start to manipulate and you know, maybe even rotate individual pieces. So if I wanted to rotate this piece, then maybe I just do something like this, sort of like the Google logo, right? Maybe this one I want to rotate a little bit as well, just the other way. So I can start to just play with it a little bit, but I can only do that with each individual letter if I create outlines first. So again, one more time, if I have something typed in, I go to my arrow tool, selection tool, and then right click and I can go to create outlines, and that will set my characters up so they're no longer text, which means I can't take my type tool and try and type inside of this anymore because it's no longer a set of text like this was, right? This is text. You can tell it's got the underline under here. But now I've got letters that have become shapes that I can now manipulate. So that comes in handy when we want to do certain things. So keep that in mind. We can also, of course, make these bigger or smaller just by using the black arrow tool, selecting each letter, and then clicking and dragging. Or I can select the set of characters and then make them bigger as well. So that is Create Outlines.